Today I want to talk about the New Year's 6 bowl matchups and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about the New Year's 6 bowls. And I also want to point you to foxsports.com, where I recently just wrote a reaction piece about the college football playoff pairings and the top 6 and what we learned from those top 6 teams being ranked so highly. They are Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. And the conclusion that I draw, which is that, it doesn't actually matter whether or not you won the games. Winning doesn't matter. And last time I checked, when we play college football, when we play things that involve a scoreboard, that is the arbiter of who's good and who's not. Now, getting into the New Year's 6 Bowl as that goes, we get the Fiesta Bowl with Oregon versus Iowa State. And I got a problem with this, man. Iowa State is a 3-loss team. Oregon State won a Pac-12 championship without winning the division. And you want to talk about how few games Ohio State has played, and yet you don't want to talk about the same amount of games being played by Oregon and not having actually won the division, right? They're not a good football team. To that end, Iowa State has lost 3 times this year, and yet they get the New Year's 6 Bowl ahead of the likes of Coastal Carolina, who is 11-0 and has top 25 wins against Louisiana and what was a previously undefeated Brigham Young. But more than that, the committee is compelled to take into account conference championships, strength of schedule, and yes, where applicable, common opponents. Coastal Carolina and Iowa State present one of the rare opportunities in the 2020 season where you can evaluate a common opponent. Louisiana beat Iowa State by 17 points, handed them their first loss of the season. Louisiana played Coastal Carolina and lost. Coastal Carolina is a better football team than both Iowa State and Louisiana. But the committee chose to act as if Iowa State did not play Louisiana. Chose to act as if Oregon's schedule was somehow more difficult than Coastal Carolina, who put a game together overnight against Brigham Young to play in Conway, South Carolina, so that they may have an opportunity to get into games like this one. They are a co-champ because the COVID-19 pandemic prevented them from playing for the Sun Belt Championship. If they win that championship outright, does it change something? Maybe, but it probably doesn't. Now, as a group of 5 man in life, and a group of 5 man who, with the help of you, have built this channel into what it is, I can't tell you how pissed I am about this. All you ask for is a shot, man. You're not asking for somebody to give you something. They earned that. They're 11-0. There are no losses for them. They earned that right. And you'll deny it to them. Why? Because you're scared. Because you're scared. No, man. Cincinnati, San Jose State, Coastal Carolina. They are a combined, 11-0, 9-0, 27-0. You got 2 outright conference championships and 3 total conference championships among those 3 teams. But the one that gets in is the highest ranked group of 5 team. That, according to this committee, is Cincinnati. But even they rank behind Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Florida. Florida, who also lost 3 times this year, once to a hapless LSU team that is lucky to be 5-5 after catching 5 losses before it could get to 5 wins. I'm looking at Texas A&M, whose only top 10 win, whose only top 25 win is against Florida. And you're trying to tell me about their schedule. Oklahoma lost twice. Once to Iowa State, who lost to Louisiana, and once to Kansas State, who ain't even going to play in a bowl game. And yet here we are having to discuss this. I don't get excited about 3-loss teams in New Year's 6 bowls. I don't care whether or not it is a pandemic when we got undefeated teams with conference championships. who don't come from the sainted Power 5. We need an expansion, man. 16 teams. I've been saying that for 4 years. 3 years on this channel. Joel Klatt comes out earlier today and says, you know what? Yeah, 16. That's what we need to do. And I don't agree that it's going to water down any regular season because you have the pay games and nobody's getting upset about those. I do, because I don't particularly care to see Tennessee Chattanooga play Alabama. Who cares about Mercer playing Georgia? But now Cincinnati gets to travel to the Peach Bowl, gets an opportunity to shake things up against a Georgia team everybody swears up and down nobody wants a part of. Well, Cincy does. Cincy wants to show up with a big rock and get into a rock fight with Georgia in their home state, on their home turf. They're there for that. They win their conference championship, and yet Georgia gets the Peach Bowl. Why not send Georgia to the Fiesta Bowl? Indiana gets the shaft over in Iowa State as well. I can't get behind this, man. The Orange Bowl, I get contractual obligations there. Highest ranked ACC team, highest ranked SEC team. That's going to be Texas A&M versus North Carolina, which is as close as Texas playing Texas A&M again as we're ever going to get with Mac Brown having formerly coached Texas. Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma versus Florida. The over-under might be 100 because both of those teams can score, and only one of those teams has looked defensively pretty decent here of late, and that's Oklahoma, but even that's kind of suspect depending on how you want to draw it up. But there's going to be no Kyle Pitts in that game and probably no Kadarius Toney. And then, again, the Peach Bowl, Cincinnati getting Georgia. So if Cincinnati beats Georgia, Coastal Carolina wins their bowl game, San Jose State wins their bowl game. We got 4 national champions. Is that what we got? Because that's what it sounds like. The more that I try to talk about how growing the expansion, how including group of 5 teams into the games that matter, putting them on television in games that matter, helps the sport, the more the folks that root for Blue Bloods hate it. And I think it's because they're scared. Buckeyes fans, Oklahoma fans, LSU fans, Alabama fans, I think it's because they're scared. Because if you're not, you're rooting for an expansion too. Because you don't want these teams to have a claim to what you believe is rightfully yours. That's how I would want it. I don't want to be in dispute about whether or not I'm number one. I want to take on the best. And if I lose, I lose. I got a shot. I'm out here like Alexander Hamilton. Somebody find me a Coastal Carolina jersey. Find me a San Jose State jersey. Find me a Cincy jersey. We're all group of 5 folks here, man. You, me, go to work every day trying to make it happen. Just begging for a shot. And if you get one, you have a duty to try to see it through. Central Florida saw it through. That was their magic year. You don't get more than one usually. This could be Coastal Carolina, San Jose State, and Cincy's magic year. If it's not, fine. But it could be. And they deserve an opportunity to see that through. Deuces.